episode of the Jones Zone. Today we have Julie Busby from Chicago. She used to live in San Diego, right, Julie?
Yes,
San
sir.
Diego?
Yes.
That's quite a dramatic change, isn't it? The weather and stuff. So thank you for doing this. We're doing a series about Californians, or for Californians who are considering moving out of state. Obviously, Chicago being a pretty big city. I'm sure some Californians are going there. You went there. So actually, first tell us about yourself. You're one of the top agents over there in Chicago. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your company, and then we'll delve into what Californians would want to know.
I started my career back in 2001 in San Diego, California. Was a top broker there, and then met my husband, who's a helicopter pilot for the Navy. When he got out of the Navy, he ended up moving back to Chicago. He's from Chicago. So that's how we ended up back in Chicago. I joined forces with another top broker. We became number one in Chicago. From there, I've grown into a team, Busby Group, one of the top residential teams in Chicago.
What was the biggest surprise?
The biggest surprise moving to Chicago was actually that there's many Californians in Chicago. I have a huge San Diego conglomerate there. I found that the lifestyle is comparable. We do al fresco dining in Chicago better than San Diego, better than California, because
Al
when it's good
fresco.
weather,
What does that
pardon me?
mean? You talking about without your shirt on?
Yes.
Does that mean without your shirt on or
No,
whatever?
no. Al
Oh,
fresco dining just means outside. We
oh,
don't to
all
be
right.
outside often. So when it's good weather, we do it well, and we're out at the beach and we're outside eating. We do it better than San Diegans actually.
Well,
So
what beach? You mentioned the beach of the Great Lake.
we are on Lake Michigan, and there's many beaches. Honestly, I'm actually about to post something about this this week. How I mean, there are 20 beaches along the path going up from the south of the city to the north of the city. Oak Street Beach is probably the most central because it's right at Gold Coast. I love Montrose Beach, which is further north. I mean, there are so many beaches to go to in Chicago.
Let's say, well, on that note, what else is there to do in Chicago for the Californians? You know, we were spoiled here in California, so you got to have, I'm guessing, water sports, but what else is there to do in
Yes.
Chicago?
We are rich in culture. I used to say our food is superior, but I will say San Diego and LA, you guys have upped your game with food. We are known for food in Chicago. We've got a lot of great restaurants, a lot of great culture. Right after Broadway, they all come to Chicago. So we have the best of musical theater, any type of theater, symphony, concerts. We do a lot of great outdoor concerts in the summer. I'm excited. Ravinia is coming up. That's one of our most fun outdoor venues. Anyways, there's honestly, I know in San Diego, it's a busy, or in California, it's a busy lifestyle. You can be outside 12 months out of the year. We can't be outside 12 months out of the year, but we are very active 12 months out of the year.
On that note, that's the other big question, especially for Californians, is the weather. So you
Yeah.
got 4 seasons there. You only have 2 seasons. Tell us about the weather.
It's about 2.5 seasons, so
Wow.
it's not 4 seasons. I will be honest. When I first moved to Chicago, I moved in October, and my husband took me straight to the North Face store, and it was great weather. It was 70 degrees at the time, and my husband was telling me to get a coat from my neck down to my ankles, and I thought he was crazy. I was all about fashion still at the time, and I thought, absolutely not. I'm not going to do this. But he helped me on my shoulders and shook me and said, "It's about survival. Just listen to me." I will tell you, once I got that coat, and then once I needed it, I didn't need it in October. You need it starting in maybe late November, December, and it will go through about March, where it is brutal. It is cold. But if you have the right gear, it's all about the right gear. You can be outside. I'm outside showing property all the
Are you
time.
showing even during those months?
Those are our busiest months. I laugh. If it's going to be the coldest day of the year and the windiest day of the year, I'm out. Those are our busiest months.
When you say you're out showing property.
Correct. And
Yeah.
outside, when they actually say it's too cold to be outside, I'm outside. If you have the right gear, you're fine.
Let me ask you this: Do you have any critters? I asked. I forget which state it was, but I mean, this one state, I think it was South Carolina, had alligators, and you get people with
Right.
mosquitoes the size of brick walls. And what do you have any critters there in
So
Chicago?
what's great about the city is you're not going to have mosquitoes. We don't have mosquitoes at all. The population's too much, and it's too much going on. However, what you will have if you're in the city are rats, and especially if you
Oh, there we go.
live close to restaurants. You're going. I mean, I used to have a home right behind one of the top restaurants in Chicago, and they like to look for the scraps in the alley, and they might end up on your balcony.
Do you live in the city?
Yes,
We're
yes,
talking about city living. Are we talking about Condo buildings. Tell us a little bit about your product, what you have there.
Yeah, so I run Busby Group. We are both city and suburbs. I am more of a city girl. Our office is in Bucktown, which is in the heart of Chicago. Absolutely, there's beautiful single family homes. That's what I've had in Chicago is a home in the city. But also there are condos in the city as well. And then all the way up, you can go north, south, and west for our suburbs. And our suburbs are amazing as well. I know we're going to chat about public transportation. Most suburbs have wonderful transportation to get you back to the city as well.
Got it. Well, what would, let's say, a four-bedroom, two-bath, 2,000 square foot, single story or two-story home cost? I know that's kind of an open question because you run a pretty big area, but maybe you can give us a few different price ranges for something like that.
Sure. I'll give you an idea. So one, Chicago has 77 neighborhoods, and that's just in the city, not even including the suburbs. So and it very much depends on what area in the city. That said, our average is much lower than you might expect. The cost of living is substantially lower than you might expect, especially for such a large metropolitan city. Our average single family home, it's around 400,000 in Chicago. I have someone right now moving from Michigan, and they have a big, beautiful single family home on Lake Michigan. They're moving to the city. We're getting them a it's like a three-bed condo with a gorgeous lake view for under 600,000. Most are single family homes. That would be more of a cottage. If we're lower than 3,000 square feet, that's more of a cottage. And a cottage you can get for 6 to 800. And then our four beds tend to start around 3,700 square feet up to 5,000. And those usually start at about 1 million and go up to.
And how about land? Could you get a lot of land if you really, really wanted to?
Not in the city, no,
No.
and in the
No.
burbs. We're running out of land. I
Okay.
represent top developers in Chicago, and there's not a ton of land. What we do though is we tear down.
Well, what I
What
mean by that, what I mean by land, can you get, let's say, a 2,000 square foot house
oh,
on a half acre?
in the suburbs, about a half acre. In the city, our lots are 25
Yeah.
feet wide by 125 long. We call them like a bowling alley, 25 wide by 125 long. And then in the suburbs, yeah, about a half acre is about right.
So you have condo buildings. A lot of people here in Orange County, they're not really familiar with these condo buildings. I don't think I'm saying it right. They're luxury, kind of like a luxury apartments almost, right? Is that what you have there? I'm guessing with
Oh, yes,
doorman,
yes.
and all and
Dormant,
restaurant. Tell us a little
yes.
bit about one of your better ones.
Well, I sold Michael Jordan's penthouse, and that
Oh,
was amazing.
wow.
With
You did? You sold Michael Jordan's
I
penthouse?
I did, and
I was going to say one of the great things
time.
about Chicago is Bulls, or Michael Jordan. Tell us a little bit about a complex. What are these? Well, tell us about Michael Jordan's place.
That was very cool. That is was a penthouse and had a wrap around rooftop deck and a solarium, all glass room up at the top. That was gorgeous. That was 5,200 square feet, if I'm remembering this correctly, and we sold it just under 8 million. A lot of these buildings will have a lot of in-house amenities. That you have a doorman, you have an exercise facility, you have an indoor pool. Some have indoor and outdoor pool. I mean, you can have very basics in your amenities or supreme amenities, but then those come with a lofty monthly expense as well with the more amenities that you have. But
Yeah.
our condo buildings are phenomenal and very well run.
On that note, I think you got me curious. So hopefully someone else is curious. What would be a HOA fee for those? That's what we call them here. HOA fee.
Yep, HOA, we're the
Okay.
same. So when you're a larger building and it's managed and you have a
Yeah, the
doorman,
best one.
you're looking anywhere. Like to give you an idea, I'm selling that three bed under 600,000, and their monthly assessment's about 1,200. Michael Jordan's penthouse, I want to say our monthly wasn't too bad for how large it was. I want to say we were around 3,500.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it can get high. I mean, it can get up to, I've seen them up to around 9,000. So it just depends.
a month.
Correct.
Good
But
for them.
yes, but then we also have smaller boutique condo buildings, and those monthly assessments are 150. So you really have any of the single family homes, any of townhomes, any of row homes. There's many different types of property that buyers can find here.
All right, let me ask you this. This is another standard question, a couple of standard questions. One, what's a gallon of gas? A gallon of gas right now is 6.99 here in Orange County. What is it there in Chicago?
You're gonna think I'm crazy. We do so much public transportation. I don't even know. The average is 524 right now, or 544.
Okay, okay. And then how about that? You mentioned restaurants. I was thinking that maybe the wonderful Mexican food in California kind of rose it to the top. But do you have guys have In and Out? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, that's one thing. Please bring us good Mexican food because that's the one thing I miss. I'm from Texas originally, then San Diego. Now I'm in Chicago, and that's one thing I miss is very good
Well,
Mexican food.
I was just going to ask you what you missed. So just the Mexican food is one of them. Anything else you miss from California?
I mean, of course, the 70-degree weather year round.
Yeah.
That said, I do like having some seasons. I do. So you know what time of year it is. I remember Christmas not knowing what time of year it was when I lived in California. So I do like, when it's cold, I know what time of year it is in
Yeah.
Chicago.
Nothing wrong with that. Now, what about In and Out Burger? You guys have In and Out Burgers there?
No,
Uh-oh,
no.
not yet.
I know we need an in and out for sure.
So, what about the cost of living? How's that compare to San Diego and Chicago?
We are substantially more affordable in Chicago. We just talked about it. Gas is cheaper. Also, our taxes. Oh, I know you guys have Prop 13, right? Is that around one?
Well, for now, yeah. Hopefully, it stays there forever. They're coming after it. It seems like, but yeah,
Okay.
we do have Prop 13.
So we average on taxes around 1.5 to 1.65% of your property value, but our values are much less. So that helps keep our taxes lower. We also have many exemptions. You can have exemptions on your taxes if you own the property and you live in the property and you're not renting it. You could have an exemption for military. We have an amazing exemption for military. So there's a lot of great exemptions to keep your taxes down in Chicago as well. Plus, just groceries are cheaper, restaurants are cheaper, just in general, and our values of homes are substantially more affordable as well.
You know, it's challenging here. I don't know if you've heard or not, but is homeowners insurance, house homeowners
That's
insurance there?
fine because we don't have, earthquakes and the storms. I mean, the worst we have are our pipes will burst from freezing, and you put some heat tape in it. So it's not. Our insurance is fine. Yeah, it's
Do you
very
have a
low.
quote like $100 a month or
Yeah,
okay?
it's about that. Yeah.
Okay. Any particular area where Californians tend to gravitate to there in Chicago area?
Yes, definitely. I have found that Californians like to be by the action. So we tend to, end up close to the city or in the city and also close to the beach because believe it or not, our beaches are quite large. And most of them want to be within a mile and you can walk or ride your bike to the beach. So that's what they tend to be in the city or close to the city and closer to the lake.
There's no waves on these beaches though, right?
A little bit. There are, I mean, the winter, funny, is you'll be up in a high rise and look down and the lake is frozen, and sometimes it's frozen in the wave.
Oh, that is
So
interesting. The summertime, how hot does it get? It gets kind of hot there, no?
it gets hot, yes. So we're
100.
around 70s right now, and it is May. And in the summer, we'll get into the high 80s. We usually don't get too much higher than that.
No, that's not bad. Is it humid at all?
It's humid. We
A little
do get
humid.
humidity. Yeah.
How are the schools in Chi-Town?
Yes,
Is it
great.
okay to call it Chi-Town? Is that
Absolutely.
oh,
Yes.
okay.
I'm on the board of Neighborhood Parent Network, and we help people with school selection in Chicago. One of my favorite things is we have amazing public schools in Chicago, and we're unique in that if you end up in a neighborhood school and it's not the right fit for you, or you want to be in another neighborhood public school in Chicago, you can. You submit an application process. You could actually list up to 15 different schools you'd want to be in. We have 15 top schools in the city. So you will end up in a good school in the Chicago Public School Network. We have excellent schools. And in the suburbs, absolutely. But what I love about the city is that if you end up in a neighborhood school you don't love, you have options. Where I think we're the only city in America that has that platform.
This also occurred to me, if we've heard, and of course, this is true with any big city, so it's not unique only to Chicago, but how I'm guessing that there are areas that you really kind of want to stay out of, a little dangerous to crime.
Good question. It's a big city. You have
Yeah.
to be aware.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Everyone on their cell phones looking down. Please don't do that in a big city anywhere that you are. So just be aware. Obviously, there's data that you can look online, but for the most part, in the city and these suburbs that we, tend to work, my clients feel very comfortable.
So it's not as bad as you may feel it
Exactly.
might be on the television.
Exactly.
Hey, so what are the job opportunities? I mean, Chicago's, of course, huge. You pretty much have every industry, don't you?
We really do. So we do a lot of healthcare. We're really prominent for healthcare. Finance is a big hub. Tech is a big hub. And believe it or not, arts and entertainment, because we have been giving tax breaks Empire is filmed in Chicago. Chicago Fire is obviously Chicago Med. There's the many different shows that are filmed in Chicago. So we have every industry you could imagine.
So what are the biggest mistakes that you're seeing Californians make who relocate to Chicago? Anything come to mind?
Biggest mistakes. I think one, you've got to get your gear. That is so silly, but it's true. My husband was right. You've got to get your gear and get it in October, just in case it sneaks in and is colder that year. But if you have the right gear, you're going to be able to be out 12 months out of the year. So that's one mistake.
We'll end it with this question. What would be any advice you'd give Californians, or maybe you just did, who are thinking about moving to Chicago?
I would say absolutely come out for a visit. It is an amazing city. It is my favorite major metropolitan city in America, hands down. With the culture, with the people, it's incredibly friendly and welcoming. You'll find there's a big California conglomerate in Chicago as well. So I would say come visit and you'll fall in love yourself.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, hey, if people want to get a hold of you and actually buy a house in Chicago town, how would be the best way to get a hold of you?
Yes. So Julie at Busby Group, or just go to busbygroup.com and you can find us.
Busby's Busby, busbygroup.com.
Perfect. Yes.
Julie, thank you so much for doing
Thank
this
you.
with me. I really appreciate it. Go have a great, nice, warm week.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe for more.